Hi, this is a sunset near Ashby, Nebraska. It's actually right around the corner. I left because I wasn't comfortable with some guy standing out yelling. He must have had some kind of a shop. It's basically a ghost town. There's nothing open. Everything's shut down. There's nobody hardly living there. At some point it must have been an actual town, but now it's basically just a ghost town now, with the exception, I guess, of that one guy. And it didn't look like he had a store, but some guy left with his kid who was carrying a bag of something, so I don't know. Don't know if he had a store in there. I don't know. It didn't really look like a grocery store type. I don't know. Maybe it was something else. Maybe he just sells like little essential items. Honestly, I don't know. But anyway, this is just around the corner. I am doing a lot of reflection, trying to, I guess, decide or figure out how much time I have how much time I have on the road before I have to be back to North Carolina. Anyway, so it's just a lot of reflection. And it's a nice night, and I decided just to, get a little exercise, walk, do my video at the same time. Anyway, as you can see, I'm dividing my videos up. Rather than doing one longer 40-minute video or 45-minute video, I'm breaking them up into smaller videos. So for each, kind of like each, I'm sectioning the videos off, I call it. Anyway, well, for now, that's it. I've still got one more video to pull together after this. Okay, I just drove through the little town, if you want to call it that, of Lakeside. I took one photograph. Didn't really even get out of my car because it is just not, it's just not, there's nothing there. There's an old restaurant. Well, I don't imagine you can hear a whole lot over that, but anyway, I opted not to get out of my car. There was an old restaurant that was out of business, another old restaurant, the Andy's Cafe, that was out of business, and then an old post office that looked like, oh God, it looked horrible. Anyway, this is kind of getting close to the last video of the day I'm going to get. It's late, the sun's getting ready to set, so I decided to stop here, get a little tiny bit more video. It's crazy, but it's been a long time since I was out in North and South Dakota. I'm still in Nebraska. I haven't gotten to South Dakota yet. I still got to get to Alliance. I won't be able to look at Carhinge tonight. That'll be tomorrow. Anyway, but it's weird, or kind of weird. It's starting to smell. I'm starting to get that, I guess, that smell or that odor or whatever you want to call it. It's not a bad smell. It's actually a good smell, but the smell of what I remember from North Dakota, South Dakota, and I'm driving along and I'm trying to remember how long it took me the first time that I came out west. The first time I came out west, I was in, that's very loud. The first time I came out west, I was in, when I had to trade the car I had, and I got my Chevy Impala. I was in Franklin, Virginia, and I'm trying to remember how long it took me, but because it's just, I don't remember, but I know that I picked up the Impala in Franklin, Virginia, and I left, and I went up through Michigan, and I hit US Highway 2 west. I had been as far as Minnesota in the past, but I had not been past there, and I had wanted to go a little farther, maybe into North Dakota, but I never did for whatever reason. I guess I was kind of afraid to, because the car that I had a lot of miles. The last trip I took, it had 210,000. Obviously, I wasn't going to go much farther than that. Anyway, so that said, I've been racking my brain trying to remember. Anyway, I'm finishing up this video now. I'm just right outside of Lakeside. There's nothing there, like I said before. Anyway, I only have about 9 weeks, maybe 10, until, let's just call it 9. I may have a little bit more than that. I think I counted it up as 10 a few days ago. So let's just count it as 9 weeks. I have 9 weeks until I have to be back in North Carolina, and that is from where the semi rear-ended me, and that's October 1st. I have to be back. If I want to fight it, and I do want to fight it now, worst case scenario, God forbid something, you know, happens and I can't make it back, then I have the option of paying the ticket. I can pay the ticket and, you know, I can always pay the ticket, you know, and then I'll, you know, get out from under it. I mean, you know, $241, and I'm pleading guilty. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that because I do believe I can get it dismissed. So anyway, that said, I have 9 weeks. Worst case scenario, God forbid something happens, for whatever reason, I can't get back by October 1st, then I can always just pay the ticket, and, you know, and then I'm good. You know, I can pay it. But I don't want to pay it if I can get out of paying it. I don't want to plead guilty to that ticket if I can get out of it. I don't know if it'll make a difference insurance-wise or not. Anyway, I have been driving along, and I thought I would just, you know, there's some stuff I want to share, and I thought I would just, rather than sit in the car, you know, and look at me, you know, whatever, you know, I'll walk, and because this is going to be the last video I can do for today or for tonight, or pretty close to the last one. Anyway, it's very beautiful out here. Just, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous night. It's been hot all day, so now it's cooling off a little, but not much. I am about 20, according to that sign back there, up there, I am 23 miles from Alliance. Anyway, after Alliance, I'm going to head to Deadwood, South Dakota. That's my next stop. Deadwood will be about roughly, I think it's going to be roughly another 160 miles out to Deadwood, so that's not going to be bad. That's not going to be bad at all. That's going to be a nice drive, too. I'll be able to knock down Deadwood probably in 1 day, most likely. I mean, unless I just make a crap load of stops. If I make a lot of stops, or I wake up, or I don't get started really, really late, then I won't be able to do it. But otherwise, I'll be able to do it. And Deadwood, if I'm not mistaken, is pretty close to the Interstate 90, and so there will be no issues finding, you know, a truck stop or 24-hour bathrooms or gas stations, whatever. That's one of the biggest issues I'm having out here, is that last night I had to drive roughly 75 miles to get to the Flying J in Loves. I was going to go to Loves. I essentially took Flying J, went to Flying J. It was roughly 75 miles, and that's really a long way. And then, as I said today, or as I said in one of my last videos, or the first, when I started out this morning, in my other video, actually, because I have done a lot of video today. I've actually, according to that sign, Broken Bow is 161 miles. I was 9 miles out. 151 miles is what I have so far traveled on this road, plus the 70 or 75 from North Platte. So, wow, that's like 200 and roughly 241 miles. Wow, I didn't realize I'd walk this far from my car. So I'm going to walk back. I would hate for, you know, I leave my keys in it, and I don't want to do that. That's not, you know, there's a little bit of traffic out here, but not much. Not a whole lot. And, you know, people see you talking on the phone. I'm doing a video, but people see you talking on the phone and they think, oh gosh, something's happened. You know, you're broken down. That would actually make a beautiful photograph, which maybe I will do here in a second. Anyway, this is kind of going to be a much longer, this is going to end up being a longer video than I wanted it to be. But anyways, that said, I have been racking my brain trying to figure out how long it took me to go from Franklin, Virginia to, I essentially went to, I think, to Seattle, Washington. I might have went a little, I think I might have went a little past Seattle, but I don't remember how far. But anyway, close to Seattle. Then I turned around and I traveled US Highway 2 all the way back. I picked it up in St. Ignace, Michigan, and went all the way to Seattle. Then turned around and I traveled it all the way back. So, and then I know I didn't hang around in Michigan probably that long. Once I got to the lower peninsula, I've been there many times. I know I didn't hang around there long. A few days, maybe. Probably a few days, week at the most, maybe. Probably traveled what they call the Sunrise Highway, which is US Highway 23, maybe. But I doubt that I doubt I stayed long. And then I know that I would have headed south into, you know, Ohio, you know, whatever, where I settled, you know, whether it was Tennessee, I don't know. I know I wouldn't have went to South Carolina or Georgia in August. It's way too hot. September, probably not. So I'm thinking I must have settled maybe in Tennessee somewhere for a little bit. I mean, you know, but Tennessee, Kentucky, none of those places are not very far from North Carolina. I mean, Tennessee's like most places in Tennessee, unless it's up near Memphis, it's 2-3 hours, 4 at the most. I mean, I don't ever go out past, I don't even ever go out as far as Nashville, Tennessee. So, Kentucky, usually the farthest I go is, you know, about 5-6 hours out. Virginia, same way, 3 hours, 4, West Virginia, you know, whatever. You get the idea. So I don't go that far. So I, honestly, I've been racking my brain trying to figure out just how long this took me so that I get an idea of how long I actually have. Anyway, I hear someone coming and I'm not too hip on walking down the road, and I don't want anyone to stop. That's just because I guess, you know, if I were broken down, that would be good, but I don't have my flashers or anything on because there's nobody out here. Anyway, they're turning. So this is very nice. This is beautiful out here. Whoops. Trying to fall backwards. This is beautiful. This is really, really nice. And as I said earlier, I'm starting to get that smell of North and South Dakota. And I'm going to end up, the only thing that I don't like, it's the one thing that I really am not too hip on, and that is, wait, I don't want to do that, is being as far up in South Dakota as I'm going to be. I mean, not South Dakota, North Dakota. I'm going to go to Deadwood, and then it's going to be another, wow, I think I mapped it from Deadwood, South Dakota, up to US Highway 2, which will be right around Williston, North Dakota. That's going to be another, oh gosh, I can't remember. I know it's Deadwood, from Alliance to Deadwood's roughly 162 miles. And then I go from Deadwood to Williston, North Dakota, and that's going to be, anyway, Alliance, Nebraska to Deadwood, South Dakota is roughly 160 miles. Then I go from Deadwood, South Dakota to Williston, North Dakota, because that's roughly, you know, Williston, North Dakota is one of those major places where I can pick up US Highway 2. Now, I'm not really hip on just picking it up in Duluth, Minnesota. I could, but I figure, well, I might as well explore Minnesota since I'm going to be that far. But if I was going to do it, I wouldn't want to go any farther than, I don't know, there's a few places in Minnesota, Bemidji,
right on the North Dakota line. No, that's not on the North Dakota line, but there's a few places. I still got some searching to do. Anyway, it is absolutely beautiful out here. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And someone's turning. That's good. Okay, they're turning. I'm going to head back to my car. Anyway, like I said, I've been racking my brain. Still racking it, trying to figure out just how long it took me. And so that I have an idea of how much time I have. Because if I go up to Williston, North Dakota, to pick up US Highway 2, I think that's the shortest distance. I think Deadwood to Williston, North Dakota is the shortest distance. Of course, if I map it to Duluth, Minnesota, or somewhere further up in Minnesota, I think I mapped it to a place called Crookston, Minnesota, and that's not too far from the North Dakota line. And it's a good little ways. It's a good little ways. But I mean, if I knock down, I think I knocked down like 200 miles today. So, and I was taking it light, taking it easy. So I'm looking at maybe 150 miles a day. Could knock it down in 3 days, 4 days. You know, I mean, it wouldn't be really that difficult at all, even if anyway. So I'm back out here to the Rolling Hills area. I will be back. I still got research to do. Because to figure out what I'm going to do. I mean, from right here up to Williston is about 800 miles. So, and that seems like a lot, and it seems like I'm eating this huge elephant and I'll never get it eaten. So I like to chop it down into something a little bit smaller. Anyway, I'm going to get back in my car and head toward Alliance. Okay, I thought I would just take a little video or picture of this, not even going to take a picture, but a little video of this old building over there. And as you can see, you can go all the way down to that, get just a little bit, and now I'm going to drive a little farther up the road. 13 minutes or 14 minutes for me to yak. I wasn't intending on that, but anyway, it's been a good day. I so far have done roughly 241 miles and started at roughly 11:30 this morning, and it has been not a hard drive at all. It's been a nice drive. I've made a lot of stops. It's been hot, but I've very much enjoyed it. Some days if I get started later I do less, but it's been a good day. Okay, I didn't make it very far up the road. I didn't drive far. I wanted to get a picture or video rather, of this sun. It is fresh cut grass. That's what I want to say the smell is, fresh cut grass. However, I don't think there's any fresh cut grass out here, but that is what it smells like. So let's zoom in and get a photo. It's actually much more beautiful standing here, but this is as best I can do. It is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. There is the sunset. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's absolutely gorgeous. The sky, I love it zoomed in. Oh, that's all the way 10 times zoomed. I love that.
Okay, well this concludes this video, and I have one more tiny video to pull together after this one, which was basically when I got to my last stop. There's a little bit of nature in there, and then when I got to the sunset, and then when I got to my last stop, the final sunset, and then when I got to my last stop. Anyway, apologies, I repeated myself there. Anyway, like I said before, I'm sectioning my videos off rather than one longer video. Anyway, got one more to pull together, and then I have to, basically, this is the next day, I got to start my day. So I hope everyone has a good week. God bless. Peace.